nonprofit is hoping to keep the next generation of leaders invested in the state of Missouri. The group focuses on recognizing young professionals under 30 years old who are making a big impact on business, advocacy, and more. Our Missouri Capitol Bureau Chief Joe McLean has the story.
The idea behind NextGen Under is to basically start a relationship between the state and the next generation of young professionals. The program's already working in a couple of states, including Oklahoma. That's where I spoke with a 3-time winner. Emily Geis is a program director for Oklahoma's Department of Human Services. For the last 3 years, she's been recognized by NextGen for her work in public service.
This will be my final year as I turn 30 in a little less than a month.
Geis says that special recognition by the state through NextGen actually motivated her to continue her career there.
And it really made me fall in love with Oklahoma even more, exposing me to all these incredible people who I could learn from, and they were the same age as I am, and even some younger, really energized me and made me realize that we are in good hands.
So NextGen Under 30 lets people nominate young professionals in 21 different categories, including business, law, healthcare, public service, and a bunch of others. Then winners are selected and they're recognized in a special ceremony. Don Swift started NextGen in 2015 with a simple idea.
Recognition equals retention. And that's real basic. It's fundamental. They surround themselves with other young people, so they're connecting with people all over the state.
The organization officially registered in Missouri on Wednesday. It's unclear when the group will start taking nominations in Missouri, but CEO of Missouri's Chamber of Commerce, Dan Meehan, says he supports the group's mission.
Efforts like that are critical, I think, to making sure that people understand the opportunities that exist in Missouri, to make sure that the next generation knows that they are welcome here.
In Jefferson City, Joe McLean, WGEM News.